Hello, grumpy old fart here. Um, People have commented to me personally. They've had one guy call me on the phone, and he asked me, "What? Why isn't the government aware of these UFOs? Why isn't why don't they ever? Why doesn't a UFO ever land on the White House lawn? Why don't they go to somebody in authority and say, take me to your leader so we can meet you properly and blah blah blah." Excuse me. Well, I thought about that. Excuse me. And I found an answer. In July of 1952, there were two incidents. This was over Washington, D.C. The excuse me. The first event happened on July 19th, and there were 6 or 7 UFOs, depending on which report you listen to. And these UFOs were flying around in the sky above Washington, D.C. But they tried to scramble jets, but fighters. But by the time they got up there, they were gone. So they couldn't catch them or nothing. They didn't see them. Now, a week later, 12 UFOs were seen on radar and visually over the White House. Literally over the White House. As I understand it, Time magazine ran a picture of it. Right there. Boom. On the front page. This time, fighters were scrambled. One of the pilots had a comment, is what he said. Quote, "I tried to make contact with the bogies below 1,000 feet. I was at my maximum speed, but I ceased chasing them because I saw no chance of overtaking them." That's pilot William Patterson. So, these UFOs showed up. Pilot went out to, these airplanes went up to go get them. One of them chased the UFO, had no chance to catch it, so he powered down and came back. I mean, Now, the next day, it was reported widely all over the country in newspapers. Now, the United States Air Force stopped their lead investigator from investigating these. Nobody knows why. You can't get an answer, and there's no answer to that in any of the articles that I read. So, so that's the answer to why haven't they tried to contact our leaders? Maybe they did. we tried to chase them down and shoot at them. I don't know. But I do have a recommendation. Excuse me. Sorry, still fighting that cold. In 1956, there was a movie put out, and the movie is titled UFO, The True Story of Flying Saucers. It's black and white. It's kind of a documentary, told with a narrator, but it's pretty good. And at the end, and well, during it as well, but at the end, they show footage that people have taken with video cameras, movie projector, what do you call them? Movie cameras, 8mm and like that, 9mm, whatever. I think it's 8mm is what they used. But the point being, these videos and photos that were taken were pretty convincing, pretty impressive. And I mentioned this in another video. If you've seen the special effects that Hollywood was using at the time, and then compare it to these videos that you'll see in this movie, that's not special effects. Something was in the sky. The Air Force has extensively studied those films, examined them, analyzed them, and all they can do is tell you what they're not. And they've eliminated birds, they've eliminated balloons, missiles, things like that. aircraft of different types. And like I said, all they're doing is eliminating what they know it's not. And what's left ain't a whole hell of a lot. So when you see videos like that made back then, and I talk about this in that other video, these days, with the right software on your laptop, you can make a pretty impressive UFO video. It looks pretty real. They're all over YouTube. You know, you gotta pretty well take what you see there with a grain of salt. But these videos that I'm talking about in this movie from 1956, where nobody had laptops, nobody had home computers, the term software didn't really exist. I mean, if somebody faked that, I'm going to say this again. If somebody faked these, they came from the future to do it. So just, keep that in mind. And I highly recommend that movie, by the way. I'm going to say it again. The movie's titled UFO, The True Story of Flying Saucers. It's black and white from 1956. Okay, if you haven't seen it, you can catch it on YouTube. It's a really, really good movie. Really good movie. Very compelling. Okay, so with that, I hope I answered my friend's question. Y'all folks have a good day. God bless one and all.